Hey YouTube, what's going on? So, today was a incredible day at work, to be honest. I mean, it was just, there weren't many cars, a lot of breaks, a lot of just me and the guys talking. So, as far as work go, did I just like stick my tongue out for a second? So, as far as work goes, it was kind of epic. This was by far the best day that I think we've had since I've started working there, which is kind of awesome because that leads into my 2 days off. I'm now off for 2 days, which so much loving. Which means I'll probably be able to make up some vlogs, which is epic. And you know, today I had a little bit of time to reflect, and I'm coming to the end of my teenage years. Here on Tuesday, I will be I'll be 20. Yeah. So I had a little bit of time to reflect, but I'll go over that on the vlog before my birthday. Just make sure to remind me the day before to, you know, remind me on Sunday's vlog to talk about, you know, my reflecting and stuff. I'm sure I will anyways, because that's kind of a big moment. You no longer can make the screwy little kid decisions. Welcome to adulthood. For real though, yeah, I mean, it's just been crazy. Like, today was a great day. Talked to Angie on and off all day long, and I mean, none of our conversations were all that long. Maybe our longest one might have been 30 minutes, maybe. It wasn't long. Like, sometimes at night I didn't talk to her for a few hours, but yeah, it's been a great day. I came home from work. I was still a little bit wore out, but I think it's just from past days and lack of sleep. Hopefully I'll be catching up on a lot of that second bit. Yeah, I mean, I keep saying a lot in this one, but today was it was a good day all around. I mean, not too many complaints. At work today, I'll give you a little bit of a story. At work today, very last car of the day that we accepted, they actually didn't want to accept it, but I said, no, I'll work on it by myself and I'll have it done before 7 o'clock, and I did. And I started on, and it was as simple as the guy came in to get a battery checked, because he said it was bad, and we drive the car into the bay, pop the hood. He actually, after he got the car started, he detached the battery to see if it was the alternator. The alternator kept all the electronics working all the way into the shop, so we can safely assume it's not the alternator, it's the battery, right? And so I take the battery, have to, unscrew it from inside of his car, get the little holder out of place, and then rip it out of his car, and there's cables going everywhere. It's a 2004 Pontiac Sunfire. And so I have to, yank the battery out, and I put it on the ground. It's a side post terminal battery, and so I put I start testing it with our machine. I put the sides in, and I start testing it, the posts in, and I start testing it. And it comes up a good battery, and, I call the guy back here, and I tell him what just happened. He said, that battery's bad. I know that battery's bad. He goes on for a good 5 minutes saying, I know the battery's bad, and then he starts talking about how stupid it is that he knows the battery's bad, but we can't just hand him a new one. And he goes on about how he's spending all this money, supposedly $400, and he did. He bought like a computer or something while he was there, on a computer, and he was thinking about buying a new battery and so he was getting really angry, and he started yelling and saying that, I'm gonna put a sign out in my front yard talking about Walmart and or how anti-Walmart I am, and what else? I'm gonna put it in the paper and all this other stuff. And it was he was being so ridiculous, and I tried to explain to him that, the handheld tester that I did it with isn't as good as our major one, but our big battery tester takes between an hour to 2 hours to fully check a battery and make sure of what it is, recharge it if needed, whatever. And I just asked him if he could come back tomorrow, and so he goes on and on and on, and I said, alright, well, we'll see what we can do. And I started looking around the car because I was certain it wasn't the battery. The battery was a month old, and it didn't come up as a bad cell on a handheld, so it probably wouldn't, 99.99% of the time, it wouldn't come up as a bad cell on the other one. So I start looking for other possible causes, and it turns out, I get to his terminals that he would screw into the battery, and they're corroded, like extremely corroded. You can't really see metal. It's just this kind of corrosion that's built up over it that's really, really hard. And so I get after that, scrubbing it with a wire brush, and I put the battery back in the vehicle after I've scrubbed off all the corrosion, screw it back in, get in the car, starts up on the first try. Turn it off, turn it back on, starts up on the second try, turn it off. Did it 6 times, it started up every single time. So I knew where the guy was in the store. He told me he was going to electronics real quick. I walk back to him and I tell him that, sir, it was your terminals like I thought it might have been. And the car started up the first try and 5 tries more after that. And he didn't believe me. He was like, no way, no way. So I go back into the bay, pull it out of our battery bay, and pull it to the parking lot in front of him, and I turn it off. I get out of the car, let him get in his car. He turns it on. Didn't even take a full turnover cycle like you would expect. The vroom, None of that. It was just vroom, straight to it. And he just couldn't believe that. And he was really apologetic. Really apologetic. And moral of this story, don't be a douchebag before you know everything for sure. Be a douchebag at the end when you're driving away after we've jumped off your car because you have a dead battery and we didn't replace it. Then be a douchebag. Otherwise, wait a while. Otherwise we're just, everyone in the garage was getting frustrated at this guy. Even though they weren't yelling at him, they were getting frustrated for him. We all feel for each other in the garage because we all know what it's like. But me, I was calm, cool, and relaxed. It didn't really bother me because, hey, it's the end of my day, and you know what? I got 2 days off after this, so who cares? Everything that I did, I had a smile on my face the whole time, even while he was yelling at me. So it just goes to show you having a positive attitude can lead to good things. It's called karma. Anyways, on to yesterday's question of the day, which was about Question of the day was about politics and where you want it to be and who you're voting for president and all that. Me personally, I'm a Mitt Romney kind of guy. Why? Because he's been a corporate takeover guy. He's taken companies that are failing and he makes them into these great successes most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time, which means he knows what he's doing in a business aspect. Well, this country is now in debt and needs to be run as a business. We need to start making money again. And I see him as being a really viable candidate to do that. I mean, he's been a professional at it for years and years and years. He's a 100 millionaire, I believe, many 100 millionaires, maybe a billionaire, I'm not sure, but I think he might be. But I know he's made hundreds of millions as a CEO, corporate takeover person. And I want to see what he can do with the country. Can he make us profitable again? Can we go back to our post-World War II state where we are amazing? Can we do it? Let's find out. So yeah, that's my take on politics. I just want to see somebody make this country a success again. I want to see Made in America on items again. I'm sick and tired of Made in Taiwan, Made in China, Made in Japan. Let's bring it back home, people. There's not going to be a question of the day today. And maybe for a while, I figure that needs to be a Mr. Titan Talks type thing, not this. So, that's my thought on things right now. As far as, yeah, because that's where it needs to be, because that's about the talking. This is me vlogging. I don't need to be asking you questions, unless it's questions that pertain to my video, like, in my situation with the guy with the battery, what would you have done? Would you have reacted the same way, just been calm, cool, and collected, or would you have been a pissed off SOB because of the way this guy was treating him? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. See, that's a question of the day, and that is the question of the day, so I guess I lied a minute ago, and I apologize for that. So that's our question of the day. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. From now on, question of the day will pertain to the vlog in some way and not the news. If you want news questions, go to Mr. Titan Talks, and I'll be asking them there once I get the vlogs up, and they aren't, personal. Whenever I have nothing to really talk about, that's when we'll be bringing major questions into play. So that is it for today's vlog, and I will see all of you tomorrow. Peace.